Welcome back to Farming with Family. What did we get today?
We got chicks.
And one minnow in my trap.
Oh, you caught a minnow.
Yeah, Bus Driver came with us to do it.
So I drove over to, get my coat off of there, to a hatchery. It's a few hours away. And we got some chicks that Vaughn had ordered a few months ago. So we got 60 more chicks to add to our flock. So we're gonna get those in the barn, in the garage, in their little enclosure.
Yay, 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 yay!
And the kids are excited. All right, here they all are. They look like they're doing good.
Yeah.
They made the trip okay, so we're gonna get them into the box. Well, today we are cleaning out water tanks. This one over the fall winter grew a bunch of algae and junk in here, so we're got the sump pump, washing them out. Once we get them empty, then I take the shop vac and vacuum out whatever more solid particles there are. Not a fun job, but it saves a lot of headache later when you're trying to spray and you don't have plug nozzles. This is the last tank. Wasn't all too bad. Now everything's ready to fill up and use for spraying. One of my least favorite jobs done for the year. Well, there's always something new when it comes to raising animals. We got 60 chicks on Tuesday, now it's Friday, and 11 have died, which usually you lose a couple, but not that many. So it took them over to vet guy over in Hoven, and he did makeshift autopsy on them and looked at them, and he said a lot of them just didn't have feed in their belly. So we had their feed in this little feeder, which we've always done, and they seem to find it just fine. But we switched up their bedding, put the food just on the ground, kind of brought them over to the water, which now you can see they're actually drinking. Some are under the light. They just seem more active now, so we're gonna try this and hopefully no more die, because that's usually 10% is the most you ever get for death loss. So there's always something to learn. Well, when you're doing maintenance, sometimes you get things that you don't expect to find. When I was changing the air filter, which goes in here, I looked and there's these turbinates, and I noticed that a bunch of them were plugged and not letting air through. What these do, they're curved, so they spin the big air particles, and then this goes to your exhaust tube, which is this tube here, sucks it into your muffler, and then out through your exhaust. Well, I guess what happens, I was just gonna order a new one of these, which I did, excuse me. But then talking to more people, they said your muffler gets plugged over time and then it stops, it'll break these, because this is what they're supposed to look like. It's basically a pre-cleaner, if I mentioned that already, but anyways, so $1,500 for this kit later, and then $500 for a muffler. Hopefully we'll have the problem fixed. Well, it's that time of the year, doing some work to the air seeder. We're going to be replacing 20 of these back gauge wheels. Got one apart. I got new ones in the box. And I think I'm going to need to do a number of the bearings because they spin, but they make noise. So you can go get those from John Deere pretty easily. They're a pretty standard bearing. I think they're the same kind that the corn planter takes. So we're going to be working on that. They say it takes a little bit to press them back together, but they say soapy water seems to work pretty well. I got one gauge wheel done. 19 more to go. We'll see if I get faster at them. We came to get a load of fertilizer for spreading on corn tomorrow, and there's a bit of a line, so had my wallet. Sent Mark over to the convenience store and we got some ice cream. Got to have a little work with pleasure. We got the 4560 all buttoned up. So like I was saying earlier, we put this new air intake in, and then from what I learned, they said your muffler could be partly plugged, which is why those little turbinates got melted. So we got that put on this morning, got the hood put back on. We'll keep working on the air seeder the next few days. Gonna spread fertilizer tomorrow and probably one more day after that. But otherwise, right now I'm gonna get the payloader, feed some cows, get them some more hay, and maybe call it a night. One of the repairs I'm doing to the air seeder is it has this drag bar or pipe that if there's corn stalks that are sticking up, if they're at the right angle, they'll go in to the row units and they can jam up in the seed boot or pop a tube off. So this pipe drags close to the ground and just lays that corn stalk over. Well, over time, where it pivots on these chain links, those that are worn out, and the one side over there had fallen off. So I'm going around and replacing these, but not the world's best welder. But I think it'll hold for the time being. At least there's 3 of them, so just in case one wouldn't work. But now I just gotta do the other side over there. Then this project is done. Time to change oil in the cat. Get this thing all serviced and ready to go. Getting fertilizer. Gonna spread some corn acres. The cat is serviced and ready to go. Just gotta blow out the radiator once we take it outside. Clean the cab a little bit, and we're ready to use it. Get the planter moved around. It's getting closer. Feels good. It's been a bit since I've taken a few videos, but we've been getting a lot of stuff done. Got the one truck ready to go. That fertilizer's gonna go in there. Got my seed tender on the trailer, that's ready to go. Got the air cart hooked up. Seed and fertilizer should be coming in the next hour. We'll get those both filled up and topped off. Have some supply on hand. And then we just gotta get the air cart hooked up to the tool. So neighbor's gonna come and help me do that because it's a bit hard to get that hitch lined up when you can't see what you're doing. So once I get that done, then I'm gonna get the disc hooked up, go and just smooth out a few spots where I picked a few rocks, made the ground a little bumpy. So we're gonna get that done, and we'll see, maybe we'll get a few soybeans planted today. It's April 25th, so trying to make it a tradition to get out early. Seed tender's got beans in it, and the air cart's all full. So we got beans for a few days to go planting. It's not Dippin' Dots, but it's pretty valuable. Got the fertilizer delivered so we can get started seeding, hopefully. We are ready to go farming. Gotta do a little disking, smooth out a few areas. This one's coming with, Vaughn's coming with. See if we can get done yet this evening. So this is one of the end rows or ends of the field that I deep ripped last year. So I'm just going over it with the disc, and the kind of left ridges, they mellow it out pretty good, but just gonna hit it with the disc a little bit, get it nice and smooth, and then we'll be done with this part. It is Sunday, April 27. Tools all hooked up, ready to go. Gonna calibrate my meters. Had a little bit of drizzle last night, so the ground's kind of just a little bit damp. So unless the sun comes out, we're gonna have to wait a little while to seed because it'll just be going into corn stalks. They're too gummy and it won't put them in the ground where I want them to and cut through the corn stalks. So, but we're gonna get that all done, get this to the field. But first we gotta tag another calf we had yesterday. Just have one more red heifer left to have her calf. Well, we are farming. Just getting this field started. It was pretty damp and humid out this morning, so we waited till this afternoon. I've just been kind of going along, checking when you're going through this corn stubble trash to make sure it's actually putting it in the ground, but not seeing a whole lot out there that are sitting on top of the ground. So we'll go for a little bit and keep checking and just see how it's doing. If it keeps working pretty good, we'll just keep on going and hopefully finish this field up tonight. Out here checking to see how it's doing, and at first glance I don't see a lot or any on top of the ground, but then you look into some of this trash, then you see these ones are basically just laying on top. Even after I come along with the rock roller, that's still just going to get a little bit of dirt on top of it and won't really get seeded. So I don't think this is going to work today. The corn stalks, I've checked a lot of them, and it's going over them, but it's not cutting them in half and going through them. So then the gauge wheel bounces over, lays the seed on top of the ground, and doesn't actually get planted. So I'm going to go plant the low spots. I got a couple of them that I want to get planted before it rains tonight, or if it rains. And then we'll figure out something else to do. Since it's not working to plant, we're popping out rocks. There's a few here that I've been going around for the last like 3 or 4 years since we broke up this area, and now it's finally time to get them taken care of and out of the way. We originally came for 2 solid rocks that I knew about. Well, 5 later, and there might be more to come. That one made me want to go on the scoop. Trying very hard not to bend my grapple forks. Here's the next one. That's what's showing. That's about 3 feet by 2 feet. Now we'll see how big it actually is. Got it out. That's a good size one. This is going to be the end of this video. We have 19 of the heifers that have calved and 1 more to go. So all the calves are doing good. Everyone seems to be healthy. We'll get some more video of planting and all that process in the next few days. So thanks for watching and have a good night.